Welcome to Trump Wire, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. At the top of the U.S. legal system sits the Supreme Court, made up of 9 justices appointed for life. These justices are nominated by the president and must be confirmed by the Senate, a process that often involves intense scrutiny and debate. Their job is to interpret the Constitution and set binding precedents for all other courts. This means their decisions can have far-reaching implications, influencing laws and policies across the nation. The court only hears select cases, usually those involving major legal questions or conflicting lower court decisions. Each year, thousands of cases are petitioned, but only a small fraction are granted a hearing. Its rulings can reshape American society, affecting issues like civil rights, free speech, healthcare, and gun ownership. These decisions often reflect the evolving values and conflicts within the society. When the justices all agree, a unanimous decision sends a powerful message that the legal principle is clear, regardless of ideology. Such decisions are rare, but carry significant weight. The Second Amendment, which protects the right to bear arms, is one of the most debated parts of the Constitution. Its interpretation has evolved over time, reflecting changes in society and technology. The Supreme Court's role is to clarify how this right applies today, balancing individual freedoms with public safety. This balance is crucial in a society where gun violence is a significant concern. Each gun-related case draws national attention, as the outcomes can redefine gun ownership and community safety. The media closely follows these cases, highlighting their importance to the public. Lawmakers, citizens, and law enforcement must all adapt to the court's latest interpretations. These rulings can lead to new legislation and changes in enforcement practices. A unanimous decision sets a firm legal foundation, making it difficult to challenge or overturn. It provides a clear directive for lower courts and lawmakers to follow. That's why Supreme Court rulings on guns are such pivotal moments for the country. They not only shape the law but also influence the national conversation on rights and safety. In a rare and powerful show of unity, the Supreme Court recently issued a unanimous decision in United States v. Rahimi, a case that has drawn national attention for its implications on both gun rights and protections for victims of domestic violence. The court upheld a federal law that bars individuals under domestic violence restraining orders from possessing firearms, reinforcing the government's ability to intervene when public safety is at risk. The case centered on Zaki Rahimi, who was discovered with multiple guns while subject to a protective order after allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend and being linked to several shootings in Texas. His actions raised urgent questions about the intersection of gun ownership and public safety. Rahimi's lawyers argued that the law violated his Second Amendment rights, pointing to the 2022 Bruin decision, which required that modern gun laws be consistent with the nation's historical traditions regarding firearms regulation. However, the justices disagreed, making it clear that the government does not need to find an exact historical law to justify modern regulations, only that the principle behind the law aligns with long-standing traditions of keeping communities safe. The court found a deep-rooted tradition in American history of disarming individuals who are considered dangerous or irresponsible, especially when there's a clear threat to others. This reasoning allowed the court to uphold the law, ensuring that victims of domestic abuse remain protected from potential harm, and sending a strong message about the importance of safeguarding vulnerable individuals. The ruling also clarified how lower courts should interpret the Bruin decision, resolving confusion that had led some judges to strike down important gun safety laws in recent years. The decision drew a clear and important line. While the right to bear arms is fundamental to American liberty, it is not without limits, especially when public safety and the protection of others are at stake. The ruling was widely hailed as a significant victory for advocates of domestic violence prevention, who have long argued that access to firearms can escalate dangerous situations. It also provided crucial guidance for lawmakers and judges, helping them navigate the complex balance between individual rights and collective safety. Ultimately, the unanimous ruling reaffirms that carefully crafted gun restrictions can coexist with constitutional rights, and that the Supreme Court stands united in its commitment to both liberty and safety for all Americans. Firearm confiscation, in this context, isn't about taking guns from all citizens. It's a targeted, temporary removal from individuals legally found to be a danger. This usually happens through court orders, like those in domestic violence cases. Red flag laws and extreme risk protection orders work similarly, allowing courts to temporarily remove firearms from people showing clear warning signs. The process includes due process, giving individuals a chance to present their side. The goal is prevention. Removing firearms from volatile situations to avert tragedy, not to punish gun owners. The Supreme Court's decision affirms that the Second Amendment doesn't protect gun possession for those a court has found dangerous. Supporters see the Supreme Court's decision as a life-saving common-sense measure. They point to the strong link between firearms and domestic violence deaths, arguing that removing guns from those deemed dangerous is essential. Restraining orders require judicial findings based on evidence, so these laws don't target random citizens. Public safety advocates say the right to live free from violence is as fundamental as the right to bear arms. Law enforcement backs these laws as tools to prevent not just domestic homicides, but also mass shootings and suicides. The ruling clarifies the Second Amendment's limits, balancing individual rights with community safety. This balance, they argue, is crucial for a safe and orderly society. Defenders of the Second Amendment worry the decision sets a dangerous precedent. They argue that even temporary confiscation risks eroding a fundamental right and could lead to broader restrictions. Critics are concerned about due process, fearing restraining orders can be issued on limited evidence, potentially disarming innocent people. They argue that losing a constitutional right based on accusation undermines justice. Some say determined individuals may still find ways to cause harm, and that focus should be on punishing crimes, not preemptive confiscation. They also question whether historical examples cited by the court truly match modern restraining orders. Ultimately, they fear the ruling weakens the Bruin test and opens the door to more gun control. The Rahimi decision strengthens the legal foundation for laws disarming those under domestic violence orders in all 50 states. It also bolsters red flag laws, giving states a strong argument for their constitutionality if due process is included. Lower courts now have clearer guidance. The Bruin test doesn't require a perfect historical match, just consistency with tradition. This flexible approach helps judges evaluate other gun regulations like those for felons or bans in sensitive places. However, the decision sets boundaries. Restrictions must be tied to a judicial finding of dangerousness. Broad, untargeted bans remain vulnerable to legal challenges. The ruling supports targeted, preventative measures, not sweeping gun control. Lawmakers must ensure new laws are narrowly focused and respect due process. The decision brings clarity, but doesn't end the debate over gun regulation. It marks a new chapter in the ongoing legal battle over the Second Amendment. The Supreme Court's decision has real-world effects for everyday Americans, shaping the way laws are enforced and how people feel about their own safety and rights. For someone like Sarah, who obtains a restraining order against an abusive partner, the law now provides a stronger layer of protection. It ensures her safety by requiring the abuser to surrender firearms, reducing the risk of violence in already tense situations. This can make a critical difference for people facing threats at home. In cases like Mark's, where family members fear he might harm himself or others, red flag laws allow courts to step in and temporarily remove guns. This gives families and friends peace of mind, knowing there's a process to get help and prevent tragedy, while also giving Mark time to get the support he needs. Responsible gun owners like David see little change in their daily lives. The law is designed to target only those who have been legally found to be a threat, not law-abiding citizens who follow the rules and store their firearms safely. The ruling reassures millions of Americans that general gun ownership remains protected. People who use firearms for sport, hunting, or self-defense can continue to do so without fear of sudden changes to their rights. For law enforcement, the decision provides clear authority to enforce firearm provisions in protective orders. This clarity makes their jobs safer and helps them protect potential victims more effectively, knowing exactly when and how they can act. The distinction is clear. The law targets specific threats, not the general public. It's about addressing real dangers, not punishing responsible citizens. The decision aims to prevent tragedy while respecting constitutional rights. It's a balance between public safety and individual freedoms, showing that both can be protected. It offers clarity for courts, police, and citizens alike, making it easier for everyone to understand their responsibilities and protections under the law. The ruling is not about broad confiscation, but about targeted intervention, removing guns only when there's a clear legal reason to do so. For most people, the impact is reassurance that the system is focused on safety and due process, not on taking away rights from responsible individuals. The Supreme Court's clarity helps everyone understand where the lines are drawn, giving peace of mind to families, gun owners, and communities across the country. The Rahimi decision is a new starting point for both gun control advocates and gun rights supporters. Gun control groups are pushing for more red flag laws in states that lack them, arguing the Supreme Court has validated these measures. They're also working to strengthen existing laws and close loopholes, such as ensuring timely surrender of firearms after court orders. Meanwhile, gun rights organizations are shifting focus to due process, fighting for fair hearings and high standards of proof before firearms are removed. They'll challenge laws they see as overreaching, arguing Rahimi was a narrow exception. Legal battles will continue over assault weapon bans, magazine limits, and age restrictions. Both sides are recalibrating strategies in light of the court's clarification. The decision energizes efforts to shape gun policy at every level. The debate over the Second Amendment is far from over. The future of gun rights and safety will be shaped by the tension between individual liberty and collective security. The Supreme Court's unanimous Rahimi decision affirms that the right to bear arms has limits, especially for those proven dangerous. What remains unsettled is how far the principle of dangerousness can be stretched. Upcoming Supreme Court cases will further define the boundaries of the Second Amendment. Citizens should stay informed, as these rulings will directly affect state and local laws. The debate is about more than law, it's about the kind of society we want. The Rahimi decision brings clarity, but also opens new questions. The conversation over gun rights and safety will continue for years to come.